Yeah, well, I think it varies from place to place. So it depends on local revenue and real estate tax and things like that. So in an area like Marin, we seem to be having plenty of funding, but I taught for years at a school where there was certainly not enough funding. So I think it really depends from place to
Right.
place. Yes, my understanding is that the federal government under IDEA 2004 sets a minimum requirement for services to be provided for students with IEPs, and that dictates then how the state uses that expenditure money to make sure that certain basic elements are covered. Oh, funding in general. I mean, there's incredible differences. Just in my experience teaching for 5 years at a school that had very small money, my teaching salary was extremely low. They put me in a classroom where I had 50 books, but like maybe three of each kind, and I was supposed to teach students out of them. Where here in TAM, we're very lucky. We have a librarian. I say, "Oh, I'm interested in getting this book," and she orders it. Where we have computers and technology, but I would say this is a rare instance in the state of California, and the state of California has a great education system. So I'd say across the country, and especially in sort of rural areas in the South and the Midwest, the education system, public education system, is really bankrupt, and there's not enough money going into it, and there's not enough being provided for students. I would guess it's unlikely based on my limited experience. I was a director of a program at a school in Louisiana, a public school, and we were dealing with a huge number of students with a variety of different challenges. But see, we didn't even fix the bullet holes that were in the wall. So if they weren't taking the time to fix bullet holes in the wall, I would find it hard to believe that we were spending the money that needed to be spent on other forms of education. Yes, in this country we have more people in prison than in any country in the history of the world. So I would say our priorities are definitely a little bit out of whack. We're not spending enough on education. But at the same time, let me say that just throwing money at the problem also isn't a solution. We need more comprehensive sort of reform for the way that we're dealing with education. Yeah, no, I mean certainly we've grown in leaps and bounds over the last couple decades. It was common practice in the as long as recently as the mid '90s to take students with severe handicaps and like lock them in a room essentially like with it. So there are really good components of the law. One of them is called the least restrictive environment (LRE), and so having that mandate that you have to take students and meet them where they're at, rather than saying, "Oh, you don't learn well enough visually, just go in the special room and stay in there all day."